Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. For any of you who don't know me, hi, my name's Elena Joy. I am a queer therapist and I make videos on this channel mostly about the queer community, sex, dating, and relationships, but sometimes we watch the YouTube video of the day. Whatever YouTube video Elena stumbles upon. And when I saw this video, I wanted to watch it immediately, but I also knew that I didn't want to watch it alone. Because listen, it's called Will 8 Masc Lesbians Agree with Each Other? So many different ways that this could go. I myself am a femme lesbian, arguably, to the femme part, not the lesbian. We've stress tested that one. And it's locked in. And so not only do I want to see whether the masc lesbians will agree with one another, but I want to know if I will agree with them. I want to know if the femme lesbian gremlin in me agrees with them, and I want to know if the queer therapist in me agrees with them. So that's what we're going to find out today, together. Okay, masc lesbians agree to disagree.
Today, you will hear a series of hot takes submitted by all of you.
Oh, look at our lineup. I like what I'm seeing. Not like that. Basically, right out the gate, I'm loving that this isn't just a group of androgynous white lesbians.
My hot take is that I date bisexuals as much as I enjoy dating lesbians.
In our big year of 2026, this is a hot take? Didn't this just come? This came out 2 weeks ago when I'm filming this. That surprises me that that is still a hot take, but maybe that shows how removed I am from the dating world at this point. I thought we were further along than the "are bi women really gay" discussion. Let's see what these folks have to say.
Everyone's a little different, and just as long as you like each other, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think everyone deserves a chance to get to know you, but I have been burned by too many bisexual women in my dating history. So I have to stay loyal to myself.
But to each his own.
It doesn't surprise me that who appears to be the oldest lesbian here is over in the disagree camp, because this is something that has shifted over generations. So I thought. The person saying that they've been burned by too many bisexuals, and so they have to stay true to themselves. It's interesting because we only accept this kind of discussion or this kind of generalization when it comes to bisexual women. If you put any other sort of identity marker or unchangeable trait about somebody into that sentence, it would be completely unacceptable, inappropriate in the way that it was received by like the general public. But for some reason, saying it about bisexual people is okay. Like, it's kind of funny, silly, cute when we do it about astrology signs. I'm talking to you, Geminis. Just kidding. But not so much in this case.
No condemning, just one community.
Just
Because
stay away from
bisexual
me.
Women can kind of go incognito and not seem like or participate in queer community if they choose not to. I feel like that's kind of the line for me.
Feminine women can walk incognito too.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. Thank you very much. I wish we had these people's names. I get what they're saying, that it is different to be able to date men and be read as a heterosexual, straight-passing couple. There is privilege in that. But that argument doesn't really work here in terms of would or would not date. Like, it makes sense to say, I don't think that bisexual women can fully understand the experience of a lesbian woman. They are different experiences in some ways. That's true. But if you, a woman, are the one dating a bisexual woman, that woman now loses those privileges just as much as if you were dating a femme lesbian. And so it doesn't totally make sense to me as a reason to say no thank you, get away from me. But before we get to the rest of the video, I need to take a second to thank the sponsor of this week's content, Surfshark. You know me and you know Surfshark. We go way back. I actually just renewed my Surfshark for another 2 years because I use it constantly. But what is Surfshark VPN, Elena? What are you even talking about? Surfshark VPN is a virtual private network that keeps your online identity safe by encrypting all of the data that is shared between your device and the internet. It keeps your personal information protected from big companies and cyber criminals. I use it as an extra layer of protection when I'm accessing client client records on my home computer to make sure that not only is my information secure, but so are my clients. A VPN also swaps the location of your device with a new one, aka it changes your IP address, allowing you to virtually travel anywhere you want around the globe. This is another way that I use Surfshark constantly. It lets you access streaming libraries from around the world that aren't available in your location. While yes, changing your IP address lets you access the internet as if you were in different countries, arguably more importantly, it's essential to remaining private online. A VPN makes sure that your location, like your city and your country, your download history are not linked to your identity. And it encrypts your online data to help secure your personal information when you are using public Wi-Fi. If you do any work in coffee shops, in airports, you need a VPN. One of the easiest ways for cyber criminals, hackers to access your identity is through these public Wi-Fis. So keep yourself protected, secure yourself online with Surfshark. And you know that if you use the code Elena at checkout, or you go to surfshark.com/Elena, linked in the description, you can get an extra 4 months of Surfshark at checkout. Now back to the video.
As long as they like you and they have done the work to decenter men, you should give them a fair chance.
I think if they love you, they love you. I don't really think it matters.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a relationship for 6 years.
Thank you, Laura.
Who was in a relationship for 20 years with a man before me. We had a wonderful relationship.
Honestly, I had a lot of girlfriends that claimed to be gay, and then while we were in the relationship, they treated me like a boy, but I was young, so I really didn't see it. I was just like, okay, most of them are now with men. And it's just like, that's what it was? Like, you could have just told me and let me go about my
Oh, this is tricky because maybe that's true. Like, I'm sure there are women who experiment and dabble and explore and maybe think that they're bisexual or think that they're gay or whatever, and then realize that they're not. Like, obviously that exists. It also exists the opposite way, as we know. So of course, I'm not saying that that experience isn't real, but you can't say that if you date a bisexual woman as a woman, and then after the two of you break up, she goes and dates a man, that invalidates her queerness or like her bisexuality as like, oh, that's why she was just straight the whole time. No, that's the definition of bisexuality. Statistically, they're gonna be more likely to date men or to end up with men or to date a man next because there's more of them. There's more men that are into women than there are women that are into women. So I don't love the discrediting of a person's entire sexuality because they dated a different gender than you after you.
I didn't know we were gonna start off hot and ready. Most of the community, they feel invalidated when a bisexual woman leaves them for a man. And that's where a lot of the hurt comes from. People are all on their journey, and no matter where you just happen to fit into that journey, whether you got cheated on or whether she left you for a man or whether she left you and then got with a man, either or, your relationship is a relationship, and if people stay true to that and true to themselves, that's all that really matters.
I think
right on.
Gay.
Exactly, Pam, thank you. To think to yourself, oh, she never really wanted me because I'm not a man, and she actually wanted men the whole time, is probably an easier pill to swallow than like there was just something wrong with our relationship, or it was just me that she didn't want. But like, relationships end for all sorts of reasons.
I think being gay should not be your entire personality.
So like, where's the end? Right here?
Well, this is kind of fun.
Can I like lay over the...
So I think being gay is super political, and as a representing lesbian, like, it's more than ever we need to show up.
Me and Annie are on the same page so far, honestly, and tell me if this is a reach, but what's coming to mind is like, let girls like things. Like, I mean, something about this, being gay should not be your entire personality, and then hating on somebody who's open and loud and I'm gay, here I am. Part of that feels like the devaluing and like dismissing of like things that women like. Tell me if you get what I'm saying. And like, do we sort of roll our eyes at times when you see the sort of being gay is my entire personality persona? Yes. Can it be a bit cringy? Yes, but like so can any fandom, you know, at times. The other side of it, which is what Annie's saying, is that we're also still an oppressed group. We're a marginalized group. There is a lot of hate still in the world. There are a lot of places where we are illegal. It is illegal to be gay. There's still rights to be fought for. And because of that, we need open, loud representation.
I agree. That's why I'm like very starkly in the middle on this. I think now is the time to be as loud and obnoxious. And if you want to make it your whole personality, do it. Make people uncomfortable. Make them feel uncomfortable. We have to be challenging the challenges that we're facing.
I totally agree, but the question was like making it your whole personality. To me, that feels like something that baby gays do.
This was me. When I was like,
I did think of that as well.
16 and coming out, like it was rainbow everything in the
Yeah.
90s.
When you're a baby gay, it's also like, it's exciting. It feels like it's exploding out of you and it's all you think about and it's all you want to talk about and it's all you want to be immersed in. And that's a beautiful thing, no? And it's kind of funny because sometimes even when I come on and I do these videos and I introduce myself as a queer person or as a femme lesbian. And it's funny because at this point in my life, I forget that there is an identifier that I need to like express so that you know, because otherwise you assume different, which I forget now because this is just my life.
My masculinity has nothing to do with emulating
Pat.
men.
Yeah, right at like let's just
Ah.
Yeah, basically.
right here, right?
Yeah.
How close do we
They're all
get?
going to agree to that for sure.
Why would I want to be that?
Folks look at us and they say that because we're masked, we're just women dressed in men clothes trying to be men. Not true. First of all, I bought those clothes, so they're mine. Second of all, that's how I feel comfortable
Yes, Pat.
in my presentation. I'm walking authentically as myself, not as nobody's man, nobody's this, that, but as Pat.
I dress like this because I'm comfortable dressing like this. I've had to wear dresses for weddings and it's brutal. It's not me. Like, I'll rock it if I have to.
Absolutely.
I just feel comfortable in, t-shirt and jeans.
And there's a piece to be said too about transness, you know, like masculinity and being a man are two different things. That is a Venn diagram that's not a circle.
My hot take is dating and sex should not be so casual.
I'm really in the middle.
I mean, sex, sometimes you need it. Not about a relationship, not about that. Sometimes you just need that closeness.
Sex is such an energy exchange that it's just like, I don't feel comfortable just giving myself to anybody. I feel like it's just the terminology. Courting is when you can date around, but I feel like once you're dating somebody and you're like making that decision to be with them and to get to know that person more, it should just be you and that person, and that's not for everybody.
It's interesting to frame this as an opinion. Like, what is your opinion on dating and sex, whether or not they should or should not be so casual? It's not really an opinion thing. It's more of a personal preference thing or a what feels right to you thing. You can't say broadly whether it should or shouldn't be casual. You can only really say, for me, this is what feels good, this is what works, this is what feels safe or unsafe. And therefore I will look for partners who match me on that. That's about as far as you can take this statement. And my opinion is that this is not an opinion. What's your opinion? Let me know in the comments.
Don't let me tell you what to do. But I just feel like it should be of a higher regard. Like, these are our bodies, our souls, our energy that we are just intertwining and exchanging with people that we'll never see again. Now you're wondering why you're mad all the time because you're carrying some random person's energy that you don't even know of.
Yeah, so that's a personal belief and a personal experience. We're dancing on, we're not even dancing on, like that is pretty close to slut shaming sort of rhetoric. Not great territory.
I think once you lay down with somebody, the game changes. I don't want to say like you haul it up, but the attachment comes real quick.
If you're good, she's
For
gonna
you.
fall in love.
See, that's what I'm saying.
It's
For
not
you.
love, it's lust. Where's the emotion? Where's the attachment? Where's the I'm yours, you're mine?
The aftercare.
And this
Now you
is
just calling your Uber. You ain't gonna cover me?
Again, different issue. Aftercare is not about casual versus not casual. You can have as many casual encounters as you want. All of them could arguably include aftercare and cuddling. This is somebody who's maybe been burned. Just generally, it sounds like they've maybe not had the best dating experiences or experiences with women.
My hot take is that masculine lesbians can be just as feminine as femme lesbians.
Yes, absolutely.
I am not putting on a dress. I am strictly masculine of center. But if you're really a masculine of center lesbian, that's where you stand. I'm an old school butch. I stand with being masculine of center. I don't judge. I don't take nothing from anybody else, but no.
This depends on how you define masculine and feminine. Like if you're including presentation and clothing and makeup, then yeah, most masculine lesbians are not going to be as feminine as femme lesbians. That's like the distinction generally is in presentation. But I guess the way I was coming at this is femininity in its associations with vulnerability, care, gentleness, like those sort of feminine qualities. Masculine lesbian, feminine lesbian, maybe we don't have it all the same, but it has nothing to do with whether we are masculine or feminine presenting.
Are we talking feminine as in like how you dress in, the makeup
like
and all of that,
sassy?
or?
Because I'm the girliest of girls inside.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
like I dress like this, but I am.
Like I want to be cuddled and all of that, you know?
Yeah.
Bring me flowers, do
Exactly.
something like that. Take me on a date. Are we coming with the clothes? Because if we're doing the clothes, I'm over here with you. You know what I mean? But inside, like, I'm still a woman through and through.
I am a woman. I am not a man. However, I think different from my feminine counterpart. I don't know, it's just not the same.
I am all female on the inside, probably the girliest that they come. You just have to get that chance to get to know me. The outside is just the shell.
I think monogamy is embarrassing.
Ooh, Tessa! Oh, they're not gonna like this. Yeah.
Strongly disagree. It's not embarrassing, it's beautiful.
That's right, yes.
Oh, Tessa's not even on the strong agree.
I love monogamy. Can't get enough of this stuff. Sometimes it does feel kind of embarrassing. Feels like this like pie in the sky, like beautiful idea. It feels very vulnerable, almost like I'm admitting that like I believe in the tooth fairy or something.
I'm a hopeless romantic. I'm still hoping on the Notebook and that kind of, you know, queer thing for me.
Yeah, that monogamy is embarrassing. I inherently to my core disagree, but I'm trying to think of like a way that it could be embarrassing. Like maybe it's embarrassing if you think about polyamory or non-monogamy as like expansive or like a greater capacity for love, a greater capacity for relationship, communication, honesty, then maybe monogamy is a bit embarrassing. But generally, no, that's an interesting one. Maybe it's embarrassing in the sense that like, you know, when you're in a relationship and like you text ooey gooey text messages to each other, but the thought of somebody else reading those text messages makes you want to die a little bit inside. In that way, it's embarrassing.
My hot take is approach dating with zero expectations.
I don't know about that.
I think that there are fundamentals and basics that you should always expect from someone when starting a bond with them. Respect, communication, authenticity, the list goes on of things that are human decency that you should always put forward when meeting someone.
Yeah, you can't do zero expectations.
You know, you like CrossFit. I'm allergic to the gym. That doesn't mean that we won't, you know, rock out. That's why I say no expectation.
It's a big question to talk about what you expect and don't expect from someone that you're wanting to start dating. Very good hot take.
Bonus hot take, U-hauling is not healthy.
U-hauling is not healthy. Agree.
Like moving in within like a
Agree.
Yeah.
We've all been there, and yet agree.
Over here because my partner and I moved in together way too quickly. We said I love you within like 2 weeks of meeting.
Oh my God.
It's not to say that it doesn't work in some cases. It's not to say that it's always bad or wrong, but healthy, adaptive, debatable.
It takes a long time to really, really get to know the depth of somebody and to know if you're able to live with that person. You're welcome.
If you have U-Haul before.
Well, they like U-hauled into my place.
You were the victim of a U-Haul.
They come to me.
I think it's important to have conversations because we're always evolving and it's the way that we can learn about each other. And if we don't talk about these things, you know, there's no conversation for people to build on.
I feel like me and Annie would be friends.
I think it's important to have these conversations, but I just don't want them to only happen in the echo chamber of our own community.
I'm just glad that I'm not in a box anymore.
Also seeing older masculine lesbians was cool.
It's so good to be in community where everyone can feel comfortable with sharing and being their authentic self. I preach it, I teach it, I sleep it, I love it. Be authentic, be who you are.
Hell yeah, Pat. Hell yeah. I love how positive these comments are. Wow, everybody's loving it, especially the representation. Do they have a femme version? I've never seen this YouTube channel. Oh, I hope they do a femme version next. If they do a femme version next, do you want to watch that all together? Wow, I gotta check out more of these videos. I got some good looking ones on there. Thank you so much for watching. What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, an extra huge thank you to my VIP patrons, my vitally important producers. You all make my world go round. There is so much bonus content over on my Patreon. There are uncut arcane episodes, like us watching the episodes together start to finish. There's all sorts of like bloopers and outtakes and unseen footage from these videos over there. We have a private Discord. You can get your name in the credits. We have monthly hangouts. There's live streams. There's so much stuff happening over there. It's a wonderful little community. And so if you want to support this channel and want access to any of that, the link is in the description. And one more big thank you to Surfshark for partnering with me on this video. Remember, you can go to the link in my description, surfshark.com/Elena, or use the code Elena at checkout to get an extra 4 months of Surfshark VPN. And there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it risk-free. But that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. So let's... I don't know if I could say what I just wanted to say. So let's strap in and strap on. I don't know if any of this is usable. Okay. No, for real. Seriously. Strap on.